master. He,
How old?
he's 15. He does the Grand Prix. And he's great. He's a great partner.
He's a great partner, and do you show him as well?
To be honest, I like learning.
Yes.
My busy life does not allow for showing, but I would like to show him increasing growth.
Okay, that's not an unrealistic
So we're coming
goal.
at 4th level and practicing movements and physical.
So how often do you ride him with your busy life?
Priority is almost every day when I'm in town.
Which is?
5 days a week.
Oh, good. Well, so that's not too bad. It's not like you're not with him often enough to make a difference. Okay, so what are his... I better turn this on. Testing. Hello. Okay, good. So what would you say are his weak points?
Bending on the right.
Okay.
He doesn't have that many weak points. I have the weak points.
Well, isn't that a nice attitude? You don't look like you think you have any weak points. No, here. No, there's a weak point. It doesn't need sugar. Here, eat it. Good. That's good. He had to think about it. Okay. So, walk on and let's take a look. So the bending to the right is not brilliant, right? Good. Okay. And you take lessons too? Good. Hey, hi, how are you? Yes, you did bring your master. Okay. All right. So what other things do we need to work on but the right bend?
What she's saying, Caroline is a very busy lady, so she's running her own business, and so she's limited in the time what she can ride, but she tries really hard. And she has this crewmaster who has done the Grand Prix, and she would like, in her ideal world, she would like to do Frisian George at one point. So I think the biggest thing is to keep them together and to set them up for whatever the movements are. It's the biggest thing for her.
Yeah, and how often do you work with her?
Well, what she says, if she's around, we work 5 days a week together.
And you help her 5 days a week? Perfect. Okay, so you have a team thing going, and the horse, when she doesn't ride, you ride him?
Yes.
Okay, well that's also important, especially for a horse that
The quicker you put them a little bit more together with her, the better it goes, you know?
Right.
If you go too long just riding forward and stretching, he goes further away from her. So
Yes, and he doesn't really carry her.
together, that's better.
Okay. Now, are you warmed up, Caroline? Okay. So he's ready to do a collected trot and collected canter, you think? All right. So where do you want to start? Canter or trot? Maybe canter? Okay, let's do that. I usually like to start in canter too. It's just better for the horse, I think. It gets their back moving sooner, and it's a more natural gait. Good. He has a nice canter, but he tries a little bit not to stay up under you with his back. You know, he has a nice front leg, but he fakes a little bit behind the withers, right? So and that takes away a slight bit of, I think, of the jump that I can see that he actually has. Don't tug too much on the reins because he will do some other trick we don't want. Got a little bit softer in the curb rein. Can you hear me down there? Yes? Okay. Little bit softer in the curb, so ease up on that and shorten your snaffle a tad. And try not to make any quick moves, okay? No fast moves, because he is the kind of horse, I think, that reacts really quickly to you moving too fast. So try to keep your hands in front of you. That's right, and be aware of anything too fast moving. Down the long sides, do a little bit of a shoulder four, so that he sits up in your right rein and canters under himself more with his left hind. Good. Your position is very nice. You're right there in the middle of the saddle. That's good. And then when you want him to continue to work, and you use your leg, and it helps, but try not to take it so far away and kick so hard. A little bit more subtle with your aids. Good. Shoulder 4 again. Steady outside rein. Sit. Good. Let's get the canter as up in front. Let him. This is what you want to ask him. Try to have him carry his shoulder. And maybe slow this down a little bit to give him more air time. I think he can, there you go. I think he can do that. Not for a pirouette canter yet, not that much, but slow it down. So what I'd like to see is a little slower canter, just one notch, one click slower. So you can really enjoy the uphill tendency. That's it. Good girl. There. And without losing the hind leg. Now that's the other end of that. That's the downside of it. When you slow down too much, the hind leg will be left behind. And he won't carry himself. He will just push from behind instead of lift you and himself. Good. Down quarter line. Turn on the quarter line. Leg yield to the right. And watch how much you use your left hand when you turn. Easy with your left hand. Prepare that earlier. Good. Now do it again and focus on the turn. I want you to turn him carefully with your outside rein and just touch that left rein so it all looks smoother, huh? Okay, and then over to the right rein. That was smoother. Don't get quick with your inside rein. Walk. You're a little bit handy with your left rein. This is what I mean. Look at me for a second. Don't do this quick little job with it. Instead, when you go to use your leg, and you're good with your leg, I mean, you're really emphatic, you're really there, he can feel it. But be careful when you don't get what you want, that you don't rip backwards like that. Try never to move your hands towards your body, and certainly not too fast. So produce more energy from back to front, so he sits in your hand very comfortably. You're much better in the curb rein there. Okay, walk on again and back to the canter, and try to slow the canter down. I don't mean much, just enough that he shows off his entire canter stride and looks like he has better self-carriage and more jump. And I think he does. You know, his canter is basically a good canter. Little shoulder 4 again. When you go around turns, prepare the turn early with your inside rein, just positioning him, and the outside rein balancing him, and your body going with him. Half good. That was a super turn. Okay, it all looked like smooth. Good. Contact right. Don't pull left. Look to the right. We're not going to go to the right and look to the left now. You're going to navigate and aim for where you want to go. Change your rein across half of the diagonal and flying change over the center line. Now push him slowly to your right rein. Look very straight, little half halt, and then a clear aid. Okay, here you did not give him a half halt to push him forward, and you gave him a very clear aid, but he didn't listen to it. And then you looked for it and asked him again, and then he listened to it. So we got to improve his reaction time there. A little, and here the canter is not as good. Can you feel it? He has a different canter on the right than the left. It's more 4-beat. It doesn't have as much jump. So here you have to be even more vigorously asking him to go in a little shoulder 4 and keep the canter a true 3-beat. Atta girl. Yeah, no, not a hunches in, a shoulder in. And he is a little aware of this problem. He's a little bit, he knows his canter is not as good on this side. So you need to go to work on that. Not in a wild way, just insist. Down center line or quarter line. And leg, here is where the leg yields can come in very useful. So up to that left rein with him, right leg forward, closer to the girth. That's right. Good. That's it. You need to feel he gives you a 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and doesn't waddle in the canter. That's better already. Shoulder in. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 to the left rein. Don't tilt his head at the pole. Keep the ears level. Right leg. Good girl. Yeah, and stay out there. And he has to bend a little bit more this way. Good job. Good job. There you improved the quality of the canter there, which he doesn't really want to do. Don't overbend the neck. Don't. Push him to the left rein. Contact right leg on. Good. Stay on the circle around me. There go. Elbow stiff. Stay on the same amount away from me, like if I have you on the stick here. Good. And then up in the left rein a little bit more and a slight shoulder forward. And be aware of the quality of the canter on this side. Okay, now go across half of the diagonal in this canter and do a flying change to the left. And let's see how you deal with that. Okay, so there is a missing piece in your preparation each way. Just collect the horse and ask him to walk. Sit up, collect him, good. And then he really collected when you asked for that, but then you couldn't help yourself, so you jabbed your hands into his mouth and he dove right down into your hand and short stopped. What we prefer is if he sits on his hind leg and just carries the shoulder and slowly to the ground, like he pats the ground with his front feet, like a snowflake, not dig it in like that. But he did stop promptly, so that was the good part of it. Now, when you prepare your changes, you do something funky. The horse came across the diagonal and the canter was good. We're talking about the first change. And then right out of a clear blue, you decided, and now we will change. And boom, there was the leg with absolutely no preparation. And although he knows his changes, there has to be something telling him, hello, I'm about to ask you for a change. Because otherwise, he can't possibly be on your leg. Because when you give him an aid like that with your leg out of nowhere, there has to be a delay, because he's going to telegraph to his head or to his brain that this, and then he's going to have to telegraph back to his muscles to execute the order. Therefore, he needs to know a little before the leg that something is going to happen. He may not know what, but he's got to be there. And when he comes out of nowhere like that, he has to be a little behind your leg. That's why you had to give him 2 aids. One to wake him up and one to, but you don't really want to do it with that. And then you started looking for it. After the first aid, you start, well, what happened? Nothing happened, and you start looking for it. That messes things up even worse. So what I'd like you to do is prepare him with a little bit of a leg yield. Let's start there. That's simple to do, okay? So you're going to canter him on, I don't care, either lead. But then when you come into the corner, we're going to do a little bit of a leg yield in towards the ring. And then you're going to push him with your new inside leg to the new outside rein. This takes a little thinking now, okay? So he's really straight. You give him a little half halt, and then slide your new outside leg back and ask. But there's got to be a little process here so he knows where to start. After that, he's probably good about the tempies, because now he's on the, now he knows what we're doing. And try not to look for the change. When you see it, it's too late. It already happened, it's done, it's gone, okay? Just, if he makes a mistake, make it his mistake. It's okay. He can make a mistake, and you just ride on, try to prepare it better, and ask again. There's always another change where that one came from. So don't worry about it. Don't make it so intense. So, it doesn't have to be. And it's easier for the horse to listen when he doesn't think that it's a matter of life and death, because it really isn't. So, canter say left lead. And you're going to go all the way down to the corner at F. And from F, you're going to do a little leg yield towards the quarter line. Once he's alert to you trying to speak to him here in the canter, good, you're going to push him with your right leg to the left rein, so he's absolutely straight. Give him a quick little half hold. You know all about half holds. Slide your right leg back and just ask. Now he's told what to do. Push him to the left rein in the leg yield. Straighten him. Give him a half hold and left leg back and a clear aid. Okay, and forward. That time he knew what you were doing, except then you didn't continue to ride forward. Are you okay with the equipment? Good. Does it want to fall out? I know. That's not your fault. Canter again. But it does help to have an additional, because although this is a great system, it doesn't necessarily reach you everywhere. So Caroline, back to the canter. And the same thing the other way. Circle around here, let's save his legs a little and get to the point. Circle around, and then you push him from the corner towards the right rein. You give him a little half halt, and then right leg back and bang, okay? You're not making it a big, huge scenario, but give him the opportunity to know where you're going with this. Push him a little to the right rein, then straighten him, half halt, right rein, right leg, leg back, and sit still. Good girl. You gave him 3/8, but when you did get it, he was very clean. Practice that again. Next time, don't come on the diagonal. Go, stay on the quarter line. Just stay on the quarter line, because I want him to stay on that's it. Leg yield to that first quarter line, then go straight, then do a change. Good canter. Nice canter. Now push him to the left. Now ride straight on that quarter line. On the quarter line, that's right. Outside rein, outside leg, change. Good girl. Continue the counter canter. Now you're going to micromanage every change like that, okay? And the reins are getting too long. In between movements, shorten your reins. Make it a habit. Use the short sides at the show to shorten the reins. We always need to shorten them. They always get too long. Especially a horse that can collect as nicely as this one. Now, leg yield to the left. Sit straight. Contact. Left rein and leg. Change. No, don't look for it. That's forbidden. No looking down. I don't care what he does. Do not look down. Feel it. As a matter of fact, close your eyes. Don't look. I'm here to look. You're here to ride. Now, go to the left rein, half halt. Straight. Left rein and leg. Warn him. Good job. Super change. Really good. That's how they should feel, right? Keep going. Counter, canter. Now you can leg yield to the wall and do a change. Keep him super straight. Use the wall to keep him straight. Right rein, right leg, and clear 8. Yeah, don't look down. Sit up. Repeat the 8. Right rein, right leg. Yeah. Get him ready. Get him listening. If the half halt doesn't work, then he's not listening. Shorten your snaffle rein, your bridoon. Do not shorten the curve. And go forward. You got it, girl. Sit right. Very good. Now come across the diagonal and do 2 changes. One each way. Use a little bit of leg yield feel to set him up for more collection. And then look in the corner. No looking down. No looking down. And don't over collect him. Good. Half halt. And then, good girl. Right rein and leg. Get ready. Sit, sit, sit. And you're digging your spur into him, but you're not using your leg. And he was too curled up in front. Here is where you have to rebalance him after the change with the half halt. Yeah, but rebalance him when he lands off this change. Now, half halt, uphill, left rein, left leg, right leg, yes, and half halt, uphill. Fix the balance, otherwise he's just going to run out of gas. Yeah, that's it. Put a little more gas in the engine, and that was not smart. Don't do any changes on the circles or on the corners. On circles maybe when you mean to, but not in corners. Just straight lines. He's too deep in front. Shorten the reins. Push him up to the bridle. Good. Make him sit there. Make him sit and collect. Come on. Make him sit. That's it. Now go across the next diagonal, very straight, uphill, and if he doesn't listen, half halt and bring him back so he can. Super. Half halt, pushing him up. Yeah, good. Ask again. You got it. And no change there. Exactly. Good job. Collect the horse and walk and let him rest. Sit up, sit up, sit up, sit up, and give him a break. So here is where the landing is important. For you to be successful, say in the Prix St. George, you want to make sure that when he lands off the change, he isn't so much on the forehand that he's like a runaway train. And then when you ask again, he can't do it. It's not like he doesn't want to or he doesn't feel your leg. He is in such poor balance that he can't produce the change. And then he just ignores you because he's a nice horse, he doesn't buck or anything. When you kick him, he just foodles along and says, okay, well, whenever I feel better about my balance, I might be able to listen to her. So at this point, each time he lands, you have to give him a half halt to recreate the self-carriage. And then you ask again. And there's plenty of time in the 4 tempies and 3 tempies to do this. Later on, it gets a little fudgy, but now you can do it. You can bring him back, Caroline, you can make him sit, you can ask again, and he's fine. Now when he lands, he will be more alert to your half halt, so he can help you out here, because he wants to. He's very happy doing good changes. That's not a problem. He's just, when he gets on the forehand, he can't quite get there from here. And his croup is high, and he's leaning in your hands, and it's all a matter of the wrong balance in the horse. And you are the creator and maintenance girl of the self-carriage. When you let the horse run to the forehand, he will try to do what you want, but he actually can't do it right. And you had some lovely changes. They were straight, they were clean, they were just uphill. So there is a really good change in here. Now you have to micromanage it in between the changes. You know, it's a little bit like jumping a course. The horse comes off the fence unbalanced and charges forward to the next fence and pulls it up by the roots. It's all about how his balance is. Okay, so now about the bend to the right, we have to look at that, I think, a little at the trot.
Okay.
Or the lack thereof, whatever it is. And he does want to go a little bit like this all the time. Tiny bit like it curved over to that side. So of course, that's something you have to fix with lateral work and repetition and making sure that you watch over it. But you're already aware of this, so it's not like it's a surprise. So let's start working for a little bit in the trot. Does he feel good in the hand to you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it looks fine.
He just likes to take over.
Well, maybe you can call it that, but I think in the changes, he doesn't really want to take over. He just literally does lose his balance. So, prepare for a collected trot. Watch the walk. Don't, either you trot or you walk. Don't do some kind of in-between, whatever that is. Walk and then clear trot transition. There you go. Yeah, and don't right there. Good. Now with your seat, try to create just a tad more airtime with this. A little more suspension in the trot. There. Good. Just like that. Just like that. That's fine. And it's good in the hand. Yeah. And ever so, and around it, it's a good thing if you start around the turns, or corners, to bend him in them. Bend that horse. Now straighten him. So every corner here is a quarter of a circle. And there's a good start. Don't let him whip through the corners like a bus. Forward straight. You're leaning over to the right too much. Sit in the middle. Good. Keep your hips in line with his hips. Bend them around the leg. Don't slide to either side of the saddle. That's a nice trot. And position him, bend him, and then straight. So there's a good starter kit for the bend. Every corner, push him into it and make him bend. That will also help you in the tests, because it's another stride to 2 strides that you have to prepare for the next movement. And that can come in very handy. Give him a little half halt right as he goes into the turn, and then hold him with that right leg to left rein. Good job. Okay. So now let's take a look at the shoulder in, circle, and half pass in the Prix St. George. So you go down to the next corner, coming up, not this one, the next one. Shoulder in to E, at E, an 8-meter circle, and make sure it is in the 10-meter circle. Right leg and thigh to the left rein. Look ahead, look at the letter. Always keep your eyes ahead of to where you're going. Circle. Why are you leaning to the right with your upper body? Sit in the middle, don't lean. Good. And half pass right. Lower your left rein a little towards the neck. Bending, bending, bend. I see what you mean. There is a definite problem, right? And he has so got your number. He said, okay, I'll bend on the circle because I don't have much of a choice. But if you think I'm going to do this on the half pass, you're kidding yourself. So let's go backwards a little and try to fix it with an exercise. So here, we're going to start in that same corner. Shoulder in wasn't bad. Circle wasn't even bad, except you were listening to the outside of the circle. But he bent, he did it was the right size. And then as soon as you said, and now stay bent to the right and go to the right, he certainly gave his no, not happening. So from that corner, you're going to circle in the corner. Then start him off in a couple of strides of half pass and have him in the outside rein. Create that on the circle so that you have him in your left rein and he is positioned right, but this is your active rein, the outside rein. Left leg is a little further back than you actually want it to be, but it has to be there now to control the haunches. And the right leg stays right where it is, but that's the bending and the motivating leg. So to separate your aids in the half pass, the inside rein just shows the direction and then it's passive. The outside rein and leg are in control of the outside of the horse. The inside leg is the one that gets the energy, the impulsion, and creates the bend. So there's a lot to do here. In the meantime, I don't want you listing left or right with your upper body and bringing the horse out of balance. You've got to sit right in the middle, and you can put a little more weight on your inside foot if you want to, a little more weight in the thigh, and look where you're going, eyes where you're going. That helps tremendously. Thumbs where you're going, the whole thing. And your hips in line with his hips and your shoulders with his shoulders. So you're always with your horse. You're in the middle of you're in the center of gravity. As soon as you start doing this with your upper body, you're out of the center of gravity and he feels it. And then he has to drag you along or fall on top of you on the other side. So you can be more helpful here. So then again, we're going to circle. We're going to do half pass right, only for as long as he will bend. Then, Caroline, you're going to go right to a leg yield left when he doesn't, okay? Actually, let's do this down the center line. It's a little more interesting. So down center line, make a circle to the right, 8-meter circle to the right, contact, turn him. Good. Now make that's right. Good. Now come in a half pass towards me here. Keep that bend from the circle. Half pass towards me. Keep coming. Keep coming. Yeah. And there. Now leg yield left. Leg yield left. And keep it. Leg yield. Left. That way. That way. Yes. Here is the exercise. Whoa. Okay. So this is the exercise. The second you feel that he grabs your right hand, moves his haunches to the left, and says, I am going to be straight as a plank. I'm not bending anymore. As soon as you lose that feel of bend, you leg yield him to the left rein to put him back in the outside rein.
Okay, and when I guess I go wild when I feel he loses forward.
When he loses forward, you got to send him forward with both legs. But he didn't exactly do that. He doesn't go, he keeps going forward. He just unsnaps the bend and puts the haunches the other way. And now now he's as if he was going on the diagonal to me. Okay. No, he's supposed to face straight forward, bend around your inside leg, and follow it. So let's do it once at the walk.
So you want me to circle an A and then come to that corner?
You don't have to go to the corner. Just make a circle. And right out of the circle, go to the right. The second he loses the bend, you're going to put him right back into the outside rein with the leg yield. You can also use the shoulder in, but I think that's a little more complicated. Okay. So we're going to start with the leg yield. Your point being, you will stay in my left rein. Okay. Okay, and you can use the leg yield with a little bend. This is an exercise. This is not the perfect leg yield, okay? We're just using it to get him on your page. So back to the trot. And you've got to be quick because he's got this down to an art form, doesn't he? He knows exactly what he's doing. So circle, and then we're going to go from the shoulder in. But let's start with the circle because he could already escape from the shoulder in, as we saw. Keep bending, and the left rein is going to keep turning him, not the right. Good. Now half pass right. Stay there. Stay there. Okay, you're good. You're still good. You're still okay. You're still okay. Look at that. Sit to the right. Not so bad. And there you lost him. Could you feel it? But he stuck with you for quite a bit. So we can't correct what he's doing right, right? He was fine for a while. Then he decided that was entirely too much bending, and he quit and he dove for the, for the rein. But that was better. You had much more control of it. So now trot. Let me see the other side. We need to compare here what we're going to do. And trot on, and then do the whole drill on the next long side. Shoulder in to B at B circle, and then half pass left to the center line and see what we can accomplish here. Yeah, you have a nice, no, okay, you can do that too. I don't care, as long as we get it out of a bent line. Good. And now half pass left, and it's mainly the right rein towards the neck. Sit a little to the left. Look where you're going. Left shoulder back. Keep going forward. Half hold right. Take the haunches with you. Take them with you. Don't let him unbend now when he gets closer. Yeah, he's more agreeable on that side. But he needs work on both. Now shoulder in on the wall and take him from the shoulder in to the half pass. There's all ways to skin, all kinds of ways to skin this cat. Left rein, right leg. And then sit to the right. Good, 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 good. No, he's done. Push him to the leg yield. Get over to, that's right. And put him in your left rein. When there's absolutely no contact in your left rein, you've got to fix it. That's a problem. And again, you need to be a little quick, not harder, okay, because he's on it, but quicker in your changing from one to the other, so you catch him at the right time. Half hold left, forward over. So far, so good. Atta girl, you're done. Straighten him and praise him. Okay, he got a little more respectful each time that you really stayed with the program. And turn left, starting the shoulder in, and then half pass left. And his trot is a little bit more interesting too from all this. Contact right, don't mess with him. Good, positioning. Leg yield right, now he's not bending off this way. Keep coming, that's okay. Keep coming, good. And then back to half pass left. Right out of there, half pass left. Keep the bend, keep him on the right rein. It's all about the outside rein. And turn left. Come again. Shoulder in to half pass. Sit, look up. And come in here, right rein, sit, good girl. Let go with the inside rein a little. Now leg yield right and make it smoother. Fix it, good. There, he was like, yes ma'am. And how much would you like me to bend and trot? Super, half circle, and come back to me here in a half pass. Good. Both reins now, right rein to direct him, left leg, good, and both legs, right leg further back. Keep the trot up, keep that good trot up. Nice trot he has, huh? Okay, next long side, shoulder in from K to V. From K to V. Then straighten him and do a medium trot from V to S. Come on, chop, chop, turn him. Left rein, right leg, look down the long side. Now straighten him and medium, go, go. Come on, that's right. Now shoulder in left and push him together. Half hold, good girl. Next time stay on the wall, don't come across the diagonal. His trot is getting more and more fancy, just be careful he does not get too short in the neck. Shoulder in to S. Stay on the wall, straighten him and medium, on the wall. go, girl. Come on. All right. Bring him back, bring him back, bring him back. Teddy, don't lose the trot. Well done. Okay. Pretty good. Be careful with the frame. Do that once more. Shoulder in and a little bit slower, more cadence trot. Don't run him here. Straighten him. With your seat, tell him, and go. Push down forward a little longer and shoulder in again. And halt that C. Sit back and stop. Nice halt. Be careful that he doesn't get too round, and then you have to be quiet so he doesn't think you don't mean it. Trot again. First halt was great, and then you moved too much, and then he thought you wanted to give him an aid. You know, he's pretty up and running now. Good. Half halt, and then a full halt. Sit. Push him under. Keep your leg on. Quiet. There he's perfectly square. Little bit short in the neck. So you can, you can just touch. That's right. Exactly like that. Good job. And trot again. Right now. Tip. Don't wait. Good. Well done. Little short in the neck there. Ease up on your curve. And push him up to the hand. Hello. Use the half hold. Don't pull him up. There you go. That's it. Yeah, he's listening. He said, oh, I know. Okay, so down this long side, develop a passage. Now slow down with your seat. Slow down with your seat and ask him to, slower, higher. You know all about it. Now give him a little pop with the legs and say, you're not trying hard enough now. Come on. Good. There we have the button. Well done. Not faster. Keep that tempo with your seat and keep the seat in the saddle. Push down, let him come up to you. A little push, just like you're sitting on that's it, on a big beach ball. Yeah, there, all right. Now he's really passaging. Look at that. Had a girl. Good, good. Yeah, and with your seat you keep this. Only use your leg if he stops. Really pretty. Good girl. And when you feel ready, shorten this passage. Transfer your aids to your leg. Sit up. We lost it. Find that little, find that balance and rhythm again with your seat. This is all about your seat. Come on, he's going forward. There. Keep him right there. Your reins are a little bit long. You know, he's so up, now he can really, there. That's it. And keep your leg close to him, but use your seat. Now you're going to, at some point, shorten this passage to shorter, 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 and transfer your aids to the leg. So the leg is going to say, and keep trotting, but stay with me here. Just keep trotting, good. And change it to a passage, or to a piaffe, I'm sorry. Steady, legs back, sit, 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 sit still now. Use your legs, don't piaffe for him. Little touch with the whip, you were right about that. Very good piaffe. And get on to the passage, right out of that tempo, let's go girl. Yeah, push down and bring him up with your seat. There, super. And your reins are too long again. Come on, shorten the reins and use your seat. Good, bend your elbows, sit. Come on, pick him up a little bit more. He can do even better than that. He has a fabulous piaffe and passage. Really good. Slow your seat down. Get in the groove with him here. Yes, he needs to, there. Really pretty. Whoa, and on the corners, because you never bend him into his corners, he loses it. Now start thinking smaller passage. Transfer your aid to your leg, possibly, oops, there you did something to make him think he was going to canter. He's thinking Grand Prix here. This is okay, this is about where we go. Come on, touch with the whip. Get him right, there you go. Now sit still, just use your legs, quiet, and passage again. And there we lost the actual, he has to come out into the passage, really lifting himself out. Slow down with your seat, Caroline. There you are. Good, good, good. And just keep it up. Don't be so erratic. Every stride the same. There you go. And now quiet, make it smaller, smaller, smaller. Transfer to your lower leg. Don't jump around in the saddle. And a little touch with the whip would help there. You have to know when you need to use your aids properly. Steady, sit, sit, sit. Not that much forward. Come on. Little more in place, little more in place. Good job. And walk and praise him. Boy, he can piaffe and passage, huh? What fun. That was really, really good. He's brilliant at that, and he likes it. You know, he knows he's good at that. So it's really cute. He says, come on, Caroline, let's do this, you know. Yes, you were good. It is fun, huh?
I'm getting there.
Yeah, so the passage, when you have it on your seat, is lovely. Do you have any questions about that? And the piaffe is just as good when you get it organized. So the weakness right now is in the transitions. So what else is new? That's the last thing that happens to every horse and rider.
And for me, I'm an erratic personality.
No kidding. Yeah.
You see that comes out of me. So it's transferring to him, and he's very forgiving. Because inside, I still have to work. I panic thinking he's not going forward enough. Knowing that fast is not forward. And then I feel him dying inside of me, and then my unconscious erratic comes out. That's what I have to work on.
Yeah, that's when you lose him off your seat. Yeah. When you go, oh my God, it's not happening. But actually it is happening. It's just you have to give him the opportunity to set himself up in a balance. What else is, riding? Main feature of all riding, balance. Uphill, self-carriage, carry rider, and stay in balance. As soon as they lose their balance, the whole thing goes to pot. Both sideways and forward and everything. But he had enough forward thinking. He was not trying to quit on you. He was just figuring out how to go from here in horizontal balance when he looked really beautiful in the passage to here when he sits a little and stays in tempo. And that is a very difficult thing to organize. And that's where most, from a judge's point of view, that's what you give the most points for transitions. At the lower levels, it's walk, trot, and canter. And at the Grand Prix, it's piaffe, passage, canter from passage, to halt, etc., or walk to piaffe. That's what gets you the points, and that's the hardest. Why is that? Because it's the hardest point. You can always have the movement separate like this, but then you have to put them all together and it has to flow one into the other. And that's what is so difficult. That's the last piece, right? That's the icing on the cake. But he can obviously do all these movements separately. We haven't looked at pirouettes, but maybe tomorrow we can do pirouettes. We look at a little bit of everything. But the piaffe passage is brilliant. But it has to, and he knows he's very good at that. So he doesn't mind doing it again and again because he's cool.
And that's how he gets really in your hand.
Yes, and now you can feel him under your seat and in your hand, and it feels like, yes, we are like a unit together. And that's what it looks like. It looks like real fun. The only time when you lose that harmony in the whole thing is when you're going from one to the other. And that's just a learning experience for him to learn to get it smaller enough in the passage and for you to ask with just the right timing so that you transfer, because I don't want you jumping up and down in the piaffe. There's nothing stupider looking than a rider that does the piaffe and the horse stands still. So you want to calm your seat and you want to transfer it to the leg so he can go right in front of the leg. And you just sit there and he piaffes. And the piaffe never feels like a lot. It's not a very exciting feel, the passage is. But the piaffe is like, how often I have come out of the ring and I turn to somebody and say, well, how was the piaffe? Because you really can't feel much. And usually the less you feel, the better it is. Because now the horse is really in tune and everything is quiet and and you go, did that happen? Perfect. So, and he's lovely in both those.
Yeah, he's great.
And the bend I think you need to go a little bit back. Yeah. And you and Raoul need to work on the exercises for the bend, not going from here to there because he's too clever. Yes. After the first 5 strides, he goes, okay, she's over it. And then he's straight and going. And then going a little backwards with the changes, so the self-carriage is more important than than tempis.
And it worked. I close my eyes, and then once you say good, I close my eyes.
Close your eyes and feel it. You cannot do anything about it when he's already changing. It's too late. If you see it, it happened already. And so it's just like riding a course of jumps. You can't jump for the horse. Well, you can't do change for him, but you can prepare for it and get him to the right spot in the right balance and then the timing with your aim. And then he's fine. Then he's okay, good with that. Then he lands, little half full, stay with me, go again. And then he will trust you not to bury him.
Yeah.
Because that's when, and then he tries to do it. And then when he feels he's not in balance, he just ignores your leg. It's like you aren't even there. And he says, I really can't do this, and she's too stupid to know, so, I'll just canter on here and act like she's not riding. So you are a clever horse, aren't you? But what fun.
He's a lot of fun.
He is a lot of
To
fun.
be honest, he's a blessing.
Yeah.
He's a blessing.
He would be for anybody.
Yeah.
He is just
It's
delightful.
like I read your story with Metallic, your horse.
Yeah,
That's
just-
how it feels for me.
yeah, it's your horse.
Yes.
This is the one that works for you, and that's the one that you will always be able to communicate probably better than most people. And he likes you, But